Namaskar, friends. Today is the third oration of our series, Phase 2, Lifeline Orations program. In the first oration of this phase, I had told you three types of sentiments because the topic continues sentiment. One sentiment was one is precious to oneself, second is those living around one are precious to one, thirdly, things, institutions, professions, things are also precious to one. One's sentiment is associated with such things or institutions. Today I will tell you how a person's sentiment is associated with a thing. The example will be Nikolai Gogol's The Overcoat. Nikolai Gogol is a Russian novelist, great novelist. And this novel is also a great novel. This novel is in a narration form. Someone narrates, tells a story. It is a story of Ekaki Ekakovich, a clerk in Russian official machinery. The narrator says he was a very of a very mean birth. His mother only reared him up. The department in which he worked is not a very important department. And what was his work? To copy documents. People think very mean of him because for years he is in the same seat doing the same work. Bosses come on transfer and go out. Nobody thinks of shifting him to some other branch or giving him any promotion. People think so bad of him, sometimes some young persons play fun with him, disturb him. He sometimes lose patience. But a few minutes after, he gets down to his copying work mindfully. He does not go to any social party, does not have much social intercourse between friends. His home and his copying work are his life. After office, he takes documents to home, and after food and eat, and after food and sleep, he gets down to copying. He loves his work because he reads every document well before copying. What was the cause of so much joy in him that when others feel bad about him, others feel pity for him, he is not so unhappy? One day, a new boss came and asked him to copy a particular document in a different way. He refused. And that boss was trying to give some promotion to him. But when he refused to obey his request, he did not give any promotion to him. That was his work. But he could not overlook the effect of Russian cold, winter. Terrible is there, winter. He had an overcoat. Everybody has an overcoat there. Once he found that the overcoat had gone too old to be used. It was torn. He went to consult a tailor. Tailor said it takes 60 rubles to repair it well, but the guarantee is not there. The tailor advised him to spend at least 80 rubles to get a new overcoat. Mr. Ekaki was rupees, getting 400 rubles a month as salary. How could he afford 80 rubles at a time for some other thing? Luckily enough, his boss gave 60 rubles as a bonus, and he used that 60 rubles and diverted some 20 rubles from his income to get a new overcoat. The day he went to office with the new overcoat, people praised him like anything, and some of them suggested that he should throw a party that very evening. So Mr. Ekaki felt very sad that she was unable to keep their request. However, luckily enough, a boss of his had arranged a party that evening, and he was invited to that party. Who went to that party that evening? There, the atmosphere was somewhat different. People were drinking, and some forced him to take some drinks. He took some drinks, but he thought that if he continued there, it would be odd for him. So he slunk away from the party. While coming home, two thieves followed him and, in a lonely place, snatched away his overcoat. Mr. Ekaki was shocked. A guardman was on duty in the square. He went and requested him to tell him who the persons were. The guardman expressed his inability and suggested that he should consult the SP of that area the next day. Mr. Ekaki went to meet the superintendent of police the next day, but from him got a very bad response. So he felt frustrated and came back home. That day, some people suggested that he should meet an important person so that that important person exerted his influence to carry on the police investigation to search the thieves. Accordingly, he went to meet an important person. But though the important person knew him personally, he expressed his anger that he should not have met him directly. He should have met him through proper channel, at least through a secretary. Mr. Ekaki said he had no faith in any secretary and came back home. While coming back home, there he faced a serious snowfall, rainstorm. On reaching home, he suffered from a terrible cold and died. A few days after it was circulated, a rumor went that on a particular bridge after evening, whoever was going there, whoever was passing that bridge, Mr. Ekaki's ghost was coming and demanding the overcoat from him. And if not given, he was snatching away the overcoat. One day, even the very important person who had given him cold shoulder was followed by Ekaki's ghost. And when his hand fell on the important person's shoulder, he voluntarily took off his overcoat and gave it to the ghost. From that day, the ghost was not seen. Friends, this is the story. Now, its review will link us to the theme, how the sentiment was linked with it. Firstly, friends, how Mr. Ekaki was feeling happy within him. He was happy because he was free. There is no force or pressure from outside for his copying work. If it is written that the sun rose in the west, he will copy that. He had no choice. People thought copying is a poor mental work. There is no mind at all in copying. He does not regard what people say. Freedom to take action was his job. Secondly, how people believed there was a ghost and the ghost was escorting and snatching overcoat. The overcoat was the sentiment. It was the soul of Mr. Ekaki. That gone, he was dead that very moment. Is there people, are there people who do not suffer from cold and influenza? Is it that Mr. Ekaki was exposed under a snowstorm and died from it? The reason is he had been dead from the very moment that the overcoat was snatched away from him, and after he was confirmed that he cannot regain it in his life, nor can he buy any new overcoat. That sense of misery killed him. That freedom, I had told you in the first oration, sentiment and freedom, they are very interlinked. To quote the first line of the opening book of The Leaves of Grass of Mr. Walt Whitman, the Nobel laureate for literature. One's self I see, a simple and separate person. Yet I utter the word democratic, the word en masse. Of a life immense in passion, pulse, and power. Cheerful for freest actions formed under laws divine. The modern man I sing, freedom, freedom to act is a divine gift, is a divine law. Men deny freedom means men deprive their fellow men of freedom. Friends, this theme will give rise to two different interpretations. One to atheism, denial of God, another to full belief in God. Two different opposite tendencies. I will not talk it now. I will talk it later. Thus, I have explained to you how Mr. Ekaki's sentiment was associated with the overcoat, and that gone, he died. With this illustration, I close today's oration. Thank you.